I'm Teresa Green, and I'm the acupuncturist here at Montpelier Family Chiropractic. Today we're going to talk about springtime. Now, in Chinese medicine, we have what we call the 5-element system, and each element corresponds to one season. And I'll go through each one of them in a separate podcast. A really quick overview is what we call the wood element, deals with springtime and the liver and gallbladder system. What we call the fire element deals with the summertime and the heart and small intestine system. We call this earth element deals with the spleen and stomach, and it deals either with the end of summer where things are sort of humid but not quite as hot, or it deals with the transition between the seasons. There's some different thoughts there and different schools of thought in Chinese medicine. The metal element deals with autumn and deals with lung and large intestine, and the water element deals with wintertime and deals with the kidney and bladder functions. Now, within each of these seasons and the elements have correspondences within the body, and each one of those has its own system as well. So for springtime, we're dealing with liver and gallbladder function. In Chinese medicine, the liver and gallbladder, in addition to their fat metabolism and cholesterol making and just the different chemistry that you deal with liver and gallbladder, they also deal with emotional things such as creativity and anger and enforcing boundaries. They deal with the ability to organize thoughts well. They deal with muscle and tendon function, and in that regard have a great deal to do with pain. They deal with things happening in a timely manner, so things like sleeping well, being sleepy at the right time, wanting to wake up at the right time, having hunger come gradually on and be something that you can eat the appropriate amount of food and then go to the net and then stop eating and not have to worry about food again for a few hours. For women, their menstrual cycles coming at the correct time and not being severely painful or severely debilitating in any way. Each one of these things is something that Chinese medicine says you have liver and gallbladder associations, also associated with vision and with creativity. So one of the big things that people have trouble with in springtime is qi stagnation. And that's because in springtime, there's a natural tendency just in the environment around you for energy to increase. So in the world around people, the like seeds are coming up, there's the first little sprouts are coming up, things are growing, and that growth is sort of providing a lot of energy, I suppose is the best way to say it. That we have our own bodies respond to that, and we kind of want to go out and do new things. We want to go out and start new projects and do yard work and clean our house, and those are wonderful, wonderful things. However, if you have pre-existing conditions or pre-existing problems, sometimes you can have a hard time with this extra energy coming into your system. One thing that can happen is if you are tired already, if you're exhausted, your body wants to have that extra energy and just doesn't. And that can be very frustrating and very disappointing. So people sometimes who have depression have a hard time with it in the springtime because they want to go out and do all the things that they see people out doing, and you have a surge of creativity, and you can't do anything with it. And so that can cause depression. Sometimes it can cause pain syndromes where you get sort of achy all over. It can cause problems with appetite as you either get more hungry than normal from the stress or less hungry just because you're just down and have some apathy kind of things going on. If, on the other hand, you're dealing with a really frustrating circumstance, whether it's an illness or being in a work or relationship setting that you don't like and can't change, or either haven't done the things you need to do to change it, well, then you get this extra energy. Sometimes it can give you the energy to actually make the change you're trying to make. Other times, it just reminds you how stuck you are. So again, you can have frustration problems. Some people can have problems with high blood pressure. Migraines a lot of times can get worse this time of year, and that's because of the stress issues. It's also because the springtime we consider to have a lifting energy function where energy rushes upward. And if you tend to be someone who overthinks things or is not very well grounded because you don't have enough rest and you're exhausted, energy can rush right up to your head and come up here, and that can cause the headaches, that can cause increase in high blood pressure. In some people it can cause some vision problems because you get heat in here around your eyes, and it can also cause allergy symptoms to be worse because their energy's stuck here, so things like mucus and phlegm can't move properly like they should. So those are all problems that can be more severe in springtime than the rest of the year. Now, as far as what you can do for things like that, there's a lot of things you can do yourself, and then there's things that your acupuncturist can help you with. So exercise is a wonderful way to help move this stuck energy, as long as you do it in moderation. You don't want to wear yourself out. You don't want to overwork so that you're exhausted and just be kind of wasting this energy that's really great. So doing an exercise level that's appropriate for you. Doing something that's new and creative and fun can help a lot. It's honoring that energy that you have and giving yourself an outlet to use that. And so starting a new creative project, especially if it's something you've maybe always wanted to do, this is a great time of year to do that as well. For food things in Chinese medicine, we say sour foods help soothe the liver function. So adding a few sour things, not a ton, just a few, things like citrus or a little bit of vinegar. Foods that have a lot of chlorophyll in them are very good. Green is considered to be a good color for naturally occurring color in food for things to eat. So things like asparagus and leafy greens and peas and things that are more likely to be available in the springtime. So sort of the greens, like I said, the asparagus, things that are considered springtime foods are really good this time of year. And then some foods that you may not think of initially as sour, but have kind of a little sour taste in them. Things like chestnuts and water chestnuts and, sorry, my brain just, bamboo and mushrooms to some degree have that as well. So some of the foods have a slight sour taste. Just don't make it everything you eat, but add those foods into your diet a little bit. Now, how can acupuncture help you with springtime issues? Acupuncture works wonderfully to deal with stress response. Most of what it does is changes the way your brain interprets stress. Some of the MRIs studies they've done and some of the different research they've done shows differences in brain function during and after receiving acupuncture as far as getting pain responses. And we would say in Chinese medicine also just the way your body manages stress in general. It tends to take more stress to get a bad response after acupuncture treatment because your body becomes better at interpreting a stress response in a way that's not as dramatically bad. So acupuncture can help with that. It can help with allergies. A lot of people who get acupuncture find the next season of allergies, they're much better able to manage it. There's a lot of herbal medicine that can help as well. Acupuncture can also be very good for high blood pressure as part of a treatment for it, as well as pain. Acupuncture is amazing for chronic pain. It can be a great part of treatment. It can usually help people actually sometimes lower their medication levels. That's something that you need to talk to your doctor about, but it can be a big part of helping with that as well. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, if there's anything you'd like to know more about, feel free to either leave a comment on YouTube on the comments section here, or you can email me at greenacuclinic@gmail.com. And my website is greenacuclinic.com, Green as in Nancy, ACUCLI, N as in Nancy, IC as in cat.com. That's it for today, and I look forward to talking to you soon.